Okay, we are back in hardcore. No more standard. Now, in the future, if there's a race and if it's standard, I'm not playing it. But there was one good thing that came out of this standard race practice, and is I've tried a lot of builds. I've tried so many builds, and I've discovered a crazy good one. And it's Merc Spark. Now, while it's Merc Spark, the good thing about Merc is that it's super flexible early game. It's one of the reasons why it's probably one of the best league starter for Merc. It's just because, okay, let's say for example I'm looking for projectile skills on a crossbow, on a bow. No, now there's none at the shop currently, so we're gonna go to Una. We're still looking for, and here we can look for either, well, spell damage and cast speed is actually pretty good, so we need 300 gold, so we'll try to buy it when we come back. But anything that gives spell damage, anything that gives cast speed, anything that gives projectile damage, anything that gives skill, anything that gives lightning skills, anything that gives fire skills would all be good, because we're going flame wall into spark. So flame wall boosts the damage of our of our sparks, and well, spark itself, if you have lightning damage, is good also. So it's very flexible, and that's probably what makes it one of the best league starter in my opinion that I've ever played. Especially if you can do the ascendancy. If you can do the ascendancy, that means you can get Zealous Inquisition, I think the name is. It basically gives you a huge AoE, right? 100% of the monster health in AoE, 10% chance or 20% chance if it's undead or demon, and that's just gonna help you a lot with the clear. But early game, like this build early game is so strong. If I remember correctly, I've done like around 2 hours and 30, if I'm not mistaken, to be like mid act 3 with 0 movement skills, just doing spark and using bonestorm on bosses. Super strong, to be honest, just because there's so much projectile damage, and then you go here and there's like damage on low life, but the damage on low life is so high, it like 30% equivalent of 10% increased damage, so it's basically the same as this. So this is 60%, so it's like 20%, and then when you get to stars align, your hits are lucky, and since you're using spark, well, your hits are lucky on low life. That means it re-rolls your 1 to whatever number is your spark, so that's a lot of added damage. And then you can go down here, you can get pierce, you can get chain from terrain, and then you can get lightning damage with non-crit is lucky. I personally don't like going down there. I'd rather go towards heavy ammunition, because it has like reduced attack speed, but it doesn't matter. Projectile increased stun buildup, it's pretty good. Even though we're using spells, accuracy, it doesn't matter, but it's still damage. And you don't get the drawback because reduced attack speed doesn't apply to spark, right? It's a spell, it's not an attack. Then you can go up here, you get some movement speed, you get the flask, better flasks, insanely good. Then you get projectile speed, which is good on spark. The attack speed is useless, but 10 dex is pretty good for some requirements of some gems, whatever. And then you get a lot of projectile damage again. Then pierce again. I think just this pierce is enough. I wouldn't go down there because I feel like the path going towards up here is just way too good. There's like some lightning damage with skill speed. There is like more skill speed here, and then you can go towards like energy shield in the tree and like more lightning damage up there later. Overall, like this is just a really good path, and you're close to like arcane alchemy, and you're close to stunching, which is really good nodes overall. Like flat int and flat strength with charge gain is pretty decent, especially for someone like me that just really love to spam his potion for no reason. And yeah, it just makes the whole thing so much better overall. You don't have to think too much about your potions, and yeah, it's just a really great start in my opinion. Now the only thing that is bad about this is that we don't get int early game, right? It's really hard to get int, so you just have to rely on having it on some of your gear, but it's no big deal. Otherwise your early game is super strong. If you can get some int and some spell damage, you're gonna have a very strong early game. Also, Spark has a really fast cast time, so even though we don't get any cast speed because we are all pure projectile damage, we just have crazy damage, especially with the added flat damage from Flame Wall. Very good. Spell damage and cast speed, not bad. Can now put Unleash on Spark. Now unfortunately, skill gem level 2, we will not be able to use it because we don't have the int. We need to buy an item with some intelligence. Ooh. Staff. You'll see the damage is pretty good against the witch. Usually it's not so great to fight this character right early, but honestly, Spark and Flame Wall, holy good. Yep, Chabay. Now here we have two choices. We can either do Arcane Surge, three choices. Arcane Surge, Arcane Tempo, or we can even go, what is it called again? Control Destruction, okay? Control Destruction is pretty good. You just cannot crit, but you do 30% more damage with hits and elements. So that means that your Flame Wall elements will do 30% more damage. And I think overall this is a really good net positive because your Spark has a 9% crit chance, which is basically 9% increased damage. So you remove 9% to gain 21% damage, but also you gain 30% damage on your Ignites from your Flame Wall, which should be around probably like at least a good 5% increased damage overall. I would say, which is great, because the problem if you go to Arcane Tempo, or well, Arcane Surge is pretty okay for that, but Arcane Tempo makes your mana cost insanely high, and it's really difficult to keep up because Spark is such a really already fast attack that keeping up with the mana is really hard, especially if you don't have that much int early game. It's even harder to keep up. So I really like to go with a bigger hit, less attack speed, well, less cast speed, and just have a much better overall, like the damage is pretty much the same, but your mana costs are so much lower. So let's go for Control Destruction. So 164 for some int on gloves. Unfortunately, I don't even have enough. We are in trouble. Now we don't want to level because we really need these gloves that are pretty cheap and gives int. So we're gonna go directly for this boss here, and we won't have to XP at all. Hopefully we won't level up. damage, you'll see, is amazing. For this early, with only one support gem. When we're gonna get 2 support gems. Okay, now we should have enough with this shield. 8 int. Hello. Now we'll be able to have Flame Wall level 2 and Spark level 2. That's a huge damage boost with controlled destruction. More projectile damage. Honestly, the damage is so good. Not only is it like good single target, it's really good tier at the same time. Amazing. And this has way more damage than if you're playing Spark Source. Like way more. The amount of damage that you get early game with Merc and projectile is completely insane, and the Flame Wall added flat actually contributes to the Spark projectile damage, because by itself Flame Wall doesn't do that much damage because it's a spell base, right? But the plus hits, the plus fire damage applies to the projectile on Spark, and what you have, whatever you have on Spark is actually magnified. It's really good. 5 int on the chest piece, perfect. Okay, 23 minutes Grim Tangle. Obviously, explaining makes everything much slower, but for real, this build is super strong at being very fast. It's actually, you can speedrun with this. It's totally doable. It's very strong. Like I said, I actually like 2 hours and 30 in Waterways Act 3 with no movement skill, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe like shield charge here and there, but very rarely. I was mostly just killing monsters, and your damage is so good that you go pretty fast, and your clear is great too. Your leveling is great. It's not just like, oh, you're level 28 and you killed Orianna. No, you actually level while getting there. So it's very good for an actual real league starter where you actually want to level, because you would theoretically never want to be, for example, level 28 in a level 45 zone. You'd be stuck there, right? And that's not something you want. Okay, now I have level 3. What do we get here? We have Orb of Storm, which is not a projectile, so very bad for us. We do have Frostbolt, though, that could be used, right? But I think we're just gonna go with Flame Wall or Spark. Now, to know what to go up with, this has 1 to 11 to 1 to 16, so that means like 5.5 to 8 damage average. So that means a 2.5 damage more. Flame Wall has 3 to 4 to 5 to 6, so that only gives you 1 damage more overall. So having Spark increased is actually a better choice, so let's go with Spark. How great is counter here? Every projectile comes back to you, and since we shoot a lot, you need to be very careful here, because they can actually one-shot you if you're too close. Not even close. I'll have shield charge. And what's great about Merc is you don't need to spec a single point in strength to have it. Hello. I'm not sure how good that is. I think that's a minion one. We'll take it. Increase spell damage per 10 spirit. So it's not very good. Unless we drop this and we do this, right? So that's 130% spell damage now. That's interesting. Oh, the damage is good. Holy. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. Holy. Wait. Is this the one that gives spirit? There's no way. There's no way. Wait, we need to check. Wait. That's 230 spirits, so it's 230% damage spell. And then we're gonna get 30 more. What is going on? Yeah, it's pretty good. I have 10 skeletons. Holy. What? Bye bye. Holy. Now what's really good is if a monster has elemental resistances, we can use bonestorm, and if it has physical resistances or a lot of armor, we can use spark. And flame wall gives us extra fire damage, on lightning damage, and on physical damage. So we're basically we cannot be countered, right? We counter every type of defense. This is what I really like too about this particular build. Very good in every situation. Alright, let's test our first bonestorm with flame wall. Holy hell, he's dead. Oh my. Holy. Yeah, only thing we're not unlucky with is the boots. I had to buy those because they were just too good, but I really need movement speed. Please, movement speed. Well, cold res. Not so bad. Okay, time to test bonestorm and spark for real. Hello. Yeah, he's failing. Dude, this is so insane. Holy. Many skeletons that proc the bonestorm, like after effect, once you do it. And having that much spell damage is completely crazy. What? Holy damage! Oh my god! This is crazy. Bye bye. I won't even bonestorm, whatever. I mean, 75% cold res. What? How long have we been playing? An hour 19, okay. I mean, there was some explanation for sure and stuff, and pauses. But this build for around like an hour of playtime is insane. Holy. 8 skeletons with Last Gasp and Bonestorm. Conk Effect Hourglass with Flame Wall is so good. Holy, it's good. Aquil Rain. Holy. Okay. Okay. We did not have enough cold res, I think. Holy. Now we need Dex for this. Rip. Man, 12% cast speed, 11% cast speed. Holy. That's a lot of damage because we literally have 0 cast speed. And it's every percentage is basically a flat increase in damage that we get. Crazy good. Our resistances are 93% cold. Oh no. Okay, it doesn't reach me. Oh dude. Oh, he's hurt. Oh yes. Bye bye. Oh no, he's bumping. Oh no, he's getting stuck with my friends here. Perfect. Let's kill him. It's over for you. Holy. I think I exalt my my ring. This ring is just too good. What a ring, dude. Holy. That's put us at 45% res fire and 75% cold. 10% lightning. Holy. We just need some lightning res. Ah, I forgot to unpause my timer when I left a bit for a break. Oops. Oh well. Let's see. An hour 40. So we're 18 minutes off. It's okay. I was gone a bit with my dog. It's just for reference anyways. It's not really speedrunning or anything. He takes no damage again. And I have mana problems. Not good. He takes no damage. I've been using my potion for no reason. Yeah, takes no damage. Great. Ah, now he moves, he can take damage probably. Yep. Yeah, this fight is so bugged. Even the bonestorm doesn't fully hit. Bye bye. Whoa. What a belt. Holy. To be honest, the chest with this is starting to fall off because we have so much projectile damage. Like, it's not as good as it used to be. If we had like plus 3 spells instead of this, it would be much better with some cast speed or spell damage or whatever. Yeah, so it's starting to fall off, but it's still pretty good. Honestly, having all these skeletons to protect you are making it much better than just having the plus skills. Yeah, I kind of like it. This is probably like the worst zone for this build, but Inquisition helps a lot because they all like block the projectiles by a lot. But if one dies and proc Inquisition, they all die, so it's kind of good that our weakness is being dealt with. The Ascendancy, oh, it makes a lot of work here. Come on. Our flame wall expired. Big part of our damage. Let's do it here. It hit the wall behind me. Bonestorm is trolling me. Bonestorm sometimes is just... it's good damage, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Let's do it here. You're kidding me. Always getting troll when you do Bonestorm. Always. That's why I put Hourglass on it. Because it's only good in very, very little situations. And when it's good, you want the maximum damage. Let's do it here. Yeah, not bad. I think she has a lot of resistances, lightning. Not sure. Oh, no potion left. Oops. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Okay. At least we get some back. I think I'm just gonna Bonestorm this a lot more than Spark. The mana is too much an issue here. Bonestorm this. Hello. It's done. Okay, she's now a low HP. Do maximum damage. Let's do the final Bonestorm here. Okay, I thought it would be better. It's not bad though. Should be dead here. Bye bye. Easy.